straight white men are evil in the Democrat Party. Absolutely. Come on, you can't deny that.
Yes, I can deny that. I don't think people are picking people because, I want a gay president. They're not
You don't think Democrats care about identity politics, Harvey? That's crazier than the Pete Buttigieg thing by a long shot.
I want to start with full disclosure. I am so angry at myself for being triggered by what Tucker Carlson said last night with Michael Knowles on Tucker's podcast, questioning, doubting whether Pete Buttigieg is gay. It is offensive to me, but also it's so obvious what they're doing in my head, which is just they're trolling. And I am biting the bait because I'm mad about it, and we're actually starting our show with it. So I want to show you what Tucker and Michael said, and then we're going to bring one of them on to drill down on this. And honestly, I'm nervous at the way I'm going to handle this. This is what they said.
I don't know Pete Buttigieg.
The fake gay guy?
I have a friend who thinks he's a fake gay. Or is his favorite conspiracy
my gay producer was always like, he's not gay. He was with a girl like 20 minutes ago, and like he wants to be the Democratic nominee. It's like time for a gay guy.
It's playing the long game. I mean, that's going down. Look.
Well, it's suffering for your art. I'll say that.
Just because I don't know him, I know 100 Pete Buttigiegs. I know this character.
Oh, I do too.
And he went to the elite school, and then he goes to McKinsey, and then he does the checks. And I think
then find some benighted Midwestern town that he can just like become mayor of.
Plop, I'm a mayor.
I've always wanted to interview him. He's never agreed to interview, but I'm going to ask him like some very specific questions about gay sex and see if he can even answer. I doubt he even knows.
Where does?
Yeah, no, totally.
I'm
not gay, dude. Stop.
Okay, they obviously know what's going on. They know this is trolling. They know it's ridiculous. But there are people that are going to latch on to this and for some reason say they believe it and it matters and it makes a difference. And there is such hypocrisy in it. But at my peril, my great peril, I'm going to bring in Michael Knowles, who was part of this cabal on Tucker's show yesterday. Michael, grudgingly welcome back to TMZ Live.
Harvey, I want to say it out front. Tucker is the one who said that Pete is not gay. I was there.
You were on that Access Hollywood bus, dude.
Okay, now listen. It's not just Tucker. I have a very good friend of mine who is a card-carrying homosexual.
Oh, what is that?
I'm not saying I agree with them.
My God, you use those words?
He's a homosexual in good standing, and he actually told me this even before Tucker did. He says he doesn't think that Pete Buttigieg is gay. Now me, I don't know, I take him at his word. My friend's argument is that he said no real homosexual would be attracted to Chasten Buttigieg, that Pete has bad aesthetic taste.
This is so, that's such
It's not my opinion.
It's
his opinion.
Okay, number one, it's a low blow. Number two, who are you guys to say who somebody falls in love with? And number three, and this is my biggest point, if you want to talk about fake stuff, you can talk about all the guys who feel the pressure or just want to get, quote, married to a woman, but they're actually gay. And you know that exists a lot in America. And you know that, Michael. You know that.
Regardless of what my friend, and I got to give him credit, Spencer Clavin, that was his theory at first, and then regardless of what Tucker says, I am not ascribing to the theory. I take Pete Buttigieg at his word that he likes the fellas. But right now, go to expressvpn.com/Michael Knowles Show. Did you know your internet provider watches every move you make online, tracks all your clicks, all the time spent online, builds a profile that it can sell to the highest bidder? That sounds illegal. It probably should be, but it's not. Why? Well, one reason is the government benefits too, because it creates a loophole around your Fourth Amendment rights. Normally, the government needs a warrant to collect your information without consent, but when they buy it from data brokers instead, totally legal, no warrant required. These data brokers are eroding our privacy. Fortunately, there's a solution that I use, that I've used for years, ExpressVPN. With ExpressVPN, all online activity travels through secure encrypted servers. No one, not even your ISP, can track your movements or infringe on your rights. It's phenomenal. I've used it for many, many years at this point. I'm a Luddite, so I can use it on your phone, on your laptop, on your computer. Boom, boom, boom. Here's some exciting news. ExpressVPN just launched Identity Defender for U.S. customers. No extra cost. removes your data from brokers' files, monitors the dark web for your info, alerts you if someone tries using your social security number. Find out how you can get 4 months free by scanning the QR code on screen, clicking the link in the description box below, or by going to expressvpn.com/Michael Knowles Show. I am not ascribing to the theory. I take Pete Buttigieg at his word that he likes the fellas. But it actually gets to the point you just made, Harvey, which is, yes, for a long, long time, guys who had a slightly different attraction might just try to go along with the cultural milieu. And,
Still happens. Still happens, by the way.
Well, I guess the argument here that Tucker and my friend Spencer are making, which is somewhat persuasive, is that now we live in this flipped culture where if you're a Democrat politician, just put yourself in the shoes of one of these guys, bright, top school, going to go to McKinsey, whatever, and you want to be the big hit in the Democrat Party. These days, if you're a straight white male, you are dead in the Democrat Party. You need to get some kind of oppression point. And so my friends have argued, not me.
Dude, Gavin Newsom is at the top of the Democratic Party. You've got J.D. Pritzker, who is part of the Democratic Party.
Pritzker, come on. Newsom, I'll give you. But the rest, it's women, it's people of color, it's LGBT.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about AOC. I'm talking about Kamala. I'm talking about the entire squad.
God forbid
Pelosi.
Somebody should be black. Nancy Pelosi is a woman, and Joe
Biden said he would pick only a vice president who was a black woman.
I understand that.
They should have an discrimination investigation.
You are deflecting, dude. Am I gay?
Well, listen. I take your word for it, Harvey.
Why do you take my word and not Pete's word?
Because you're not running for the Democrat nomination for president.
Okay, I'm going to do this hypothetically, and this is why I'm mad at myself, because I should not go down this rabbit hole, but I'm gonna. If you were an elite student, military guy who wanted to put on this ruse,
yes,
would you start your career running for mayor in a small town in Indiana? You think that's going to get him votes? Isn't it easier to get elected if you're not in so many ways, especially when he got elected?
Harvey, no joke. If I were a young man trying to run for the Democrat nomination around this time, I would try to come up with something. I actually know some of these guys like Buttigieg who would pretend.
You are trying to make bosom buddies come to life.
I'm trying to tell you I don't ascribe to the theory, but I knew a guy.
You guys were laughing about giving him a test. Come on.
I knew a guy, and this is no joke, from the time I was in college. This guy was straight as could be. He was dating a bunch of women, but he wanted to seem hip and cool. This was probably around like 2012, and he defined himself as non-heterosexual. And the broader point, beyond Pete and Chase and Buttigieg or whatever, the broader point is, where are the incentives in the culture right now, especially in the Democratic Party, which is where they're running? The crazy thing is, it used to be that you'd have to hide if you had a kind of weirder sexual view, and you'd try to pretend to be all straight-laced and everything.
And now it's the opposite. You're saying a weirder sexual view. Maybe take the word weird out, that people are different.
Harvey, it's uncommon. I'm not trying to use polemical language here,
you're not only saying it's common, you're saying it's all the rage. I mean, that's what you're saying.
It absolutely is all the rage.
Then who are the two leading candidates that people are talking about for the Democratic presidential nominee in 2028? Who are the two
biggest ones? The two biggest ones are Gavin Newsom,
yes.
I'll grant you. He is Patrick Bateman, American psycho, straight white man, no doubt about it, and AOC. And there's the which way.
J.D. Pritzker is mentioned. Come on.
Pritzker, give me a break.
You
no
know
chance.
that. It doesn't matter
no
whether
chance.
those
This is
are
the coalition of the ascendant, the people of color, the straight white men are evil in the Democrat Party. Absolutely. Come on, you can't deny that.
Yes, I can deny that. That I don't think people are picking people because, I want a gay president. They're not.
You don't think Democrats care about identity politics, Harvey? You don't believe that? That's crazier than the Pete Buttigieg thing by a long shot.
Really? Because I think that they've realized that identity politics has ruined them, and that people need to be viewed as people. And I think they're moving away from it because they got their asses kicked. That's what I think.
Well, I think it would be smart if they did that, but I don't know. I see them elevating the Mamdanis of the world, the extreme socialist identity politics left, pushing radical LGBT identity. I think I don't
think they're pushing radical. I mean, Gavin Newsom has, now all of a sudden they're coming out and saying, no, we don't want transgender women in women's sports. Well, you know what? they're kind of jumping on that bus now. So I think they're going the opposite direction you're saying. But
the Newsom side is, yes, I agree. The Newsom side is, but Zohran Mamdani is talking about queer liberation for Palestine. So, it's clearly, it's bifurcating, it's cutting both ways. And my point is, Pete Buttigieg, this is one of the nicest things I'll say about him. He is sociopathically ambitious. He's an amazing careerist in politics. And
Donald Trump isn't. Huh.
No, Donald Trump is he's the great political figure of our era. But Buttigieg, look, he went from being nobody to being mayor of a small town to being the transportation secretary.
Right.
He was on his way to being president.
Right.
And my point is, again, I trust his sexual desires as he states them. But I think he follows incentives very well. And I think the Democrat
I don't get the butt part.
Right
I don't get the butt part. You could put a
identity.
period instead of a butt. That's ridiculous. Hey, what do you think about outing people? Good idea, bad idea?
Outing them as straight?
Outing them as gay.
I totally
what do you
disavow Tucker for that. He should not out Pete as straight.
What do you think about outing gay people?
No, I think people shouldn't discuss their sexual views all that much in public.
Well, Tucker is doing that.
He's reverse outing him.
It's still.
And you're saying that's no big deal.
By
your standard, you're saying that would be good for people.
He's wrong and it's dumb, but he's trying to out somebody. You can out both ways. It's not just a one-way street.
You can't go out both ways, Harvey. You got to go. If you go out one way, you go in the other way.
You were assuming he was in before he was out, and that doesn't necessarily mean he was. He could always have been the person he was, but he had to play the game growing up, and then eventually became who he is. But it's not an issue of coming out once you're in. It really isn't.
But Tucker is saying he was out before he was in, and it's also, I can't believe that I'm like the spokesman for this now. But what Spencer and Tucker, I think, are pointing out is,
you should have told him.
Pete came out later in life. You should have told him,
knock it off, Michael. Come on. Well, you should have.
I should say, I say, Tucker, stop. Do not in Pete Buttigieg. He might be the nominee at this rate in 2028, and he'd be really easy to beat. You're right. That's a good point. You're right. I should be promoting Pete as best I can. I take a mea culpa for that, and he is not going to be the nominee if he comes out as a straight guy. So, okay, that's fair. I agree.
I'm going to make an admission. I feel utterly defeated that I just devoted all this time with you to this when I know I shouldn't have, and I know I shouldn't have been triggered, and I know it shouldn't have pissed me off. And in that sense, you win, and I hate myself for it.
Well, on that chipper note, Harvey, great to see you again, 2 days in a row. What theory should I come up with next week?
We'll see you next week. Maybe 2 weeks.